Happy Monday, everybody. My name's Brad Miller, and I have the pleasure of being one of the hosts for this Health Huddle. Again, if you are brand new, we just want to welcome you. We're a cool group, odd group, but the best group of people. And we get together every Monday for 20 minutes. We also record this, so if you're watching the recording, hello and good evening, or hello tomorrow, future people that are watching this. We get together every Monday because, as you're probably learning or about to begin your journey and realize, is that health is not about how perfect you are. And this is definitely not a diet. It's something that we work at, evolve, and tackle new things each week. And so we kick off each week by focusing on a habit of health that's probably relative based on what's going on, or just cool that was something that affects your journey. And it's also just a part of support. Just being on this alone is increasing your ability to move forward in your health. So want to welcome you. If you have chats or anything you want to share, please post it in the box. You can just open up that chat box and share anything that's really been big for you on whatever we share. But before we get into any topic, and before we open up, before we get into the topic, we always open it up for people to share like anything that really was powerful for them this last week, anything that was a celebration, anything that worked really well for them, anything that they just wanted to share. And I always encourage sharing, because if you had something happen in your health, guaranteed it's going to affect somebody else and someone else can learn from that. So before we even get started on the topic this week, I'd love to open it up and just go ahead and unmute yourself if you'd like to share on something that was a big victory for you this week. It can be on scale or non-scale.
Hey, Brad, I will.
Yeah, go for it, Billy.
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Good, buddy. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Hey, this last, about a year ago, my health was really bad. I was about 75 pounds heavier. And myself, my wife, and everybody, my family used to like to, well, not used to, but still do a lot of walks on the Centennial Trail that's by our house. And I used to struggle and used to be miserable. I hated it. And this last couple days ago, we went on it again and did a walk, and it was nothing totally. We went a long ways, and after we were done, I looked at Christy and I said, I'm not tired at all. I could do it again, not tired at all. I felt awesome, and it was a really cool feeling.
That's awesome. And that is a big habit of health right there, is looking back and seeing how far you've come on something. So not only congrats on how much you changed your health, but looking back and being like, wow, look how much further I am where I was before. And another question asked is, where do I want to go next? That's an awesome victory, Billy. Thanks for sharing, man. Who else has anything they want to share tonight?
I will.
Go for it, my man.
Hey, check this out, Brad. I had to add 3 extra holes in my belt, and now I get my new belt back. It's one of my favorite belts. And all I want to say to everybody is, this is not just a weight loss program. This is about victories, non-scale victories. So continue what you guys are doing, because it's an awesome feeling. I went from a size 42 to a size 34 this past weekend. So rock on. That's it.
Dude, that is an awesome celebration right there. I love it. So cool. I don't know if anyone can top that, but let's do one more before we head into tonight's topic.
I can share, Brad.
Go for it. Oh, hey, Paula, share away.
So my name is Paula Malolo, and I'm a health coach. I've been a health coach since October. But at my heaviest, I was 304 pounds, and Take Shape has helped me lose 75 pounds in about 6 to 8 months. And I honestly never thought I could be where I'm at. I am doing a Spartan race here in about a month, and it's something I would have never even dreamed of, 6 years ago when I was at my heaviest weight. And so I just want everybody out there that's working on this and trying to know that it can be done. And it's totally doable. And this program is absolutely amazing. And it's a godsend. So good luck and keep on working it.
Paula, I love it. I had the honor of talking with you earlier this week on a cool celebration that we were covering. And so if you had to break it down, just one tip for everyone on here right now, you've had a huge victory in your journey. And obviously, we all know that it's just where we going next from here, because the journey never ends, just gets more awesome. What's the one tip you'd give someone who is probably in their first few weeks, or maybe even just getting started today?
I would say it's little steps. So take one little bite at a time and make that a habit. and then start with something new. So start with eating right, and then once you get that down, then start getting your water down, and then start with, I started with just being active every day. So I would just go walk some stairs or take a 20-minute walk. Now I'm doing 60-minute workouts, I'm boxing, I'm doing things I would have never thought of. And so it's just taking those little steps every day that become habits that become your life.
Oh, I love it. So good. Last question for you. Sorry, I might even have more if I keep springing it on you. Is you lost a lot of weight before and tried to attempted to be healthy, and then you found this and you were like, no, this is like I got to jump in and do this. What as someone who was already getting healthier, how did this fit in, and how did this accelerate your health journey? And I don't know the answer to this, so I'm really excited to hear it personally.
I got stuck for about 2 years at about 235 pounds, working out 6 to 8 times a week, counting calories, doing everything right, and just couldn't get the weight off. And this program, I think doing the lower carb, and I think just having the balanced, even nutrition, eating every 2 to 3 hours, my body loved it. It was just amazing. And the weight just dropped off. It was really amazing.
I love it. It's predictable, and no matter where you are, if you're very on top of it or, maybe don't have as much discipline, it gives you some really easy structure to follow so you can have that success. So good victory, Paula. Congratulations, and thanks for sharing tonight. All right. I'm going to get into tonight's topic real quick, and I have someone who's going to be sharing tonight, and I'm going to throw a lot of it's not going to be our conventional kind of health huddle. So bear with me, and hopefully you laugh. I got a bunch of pictures tonight. Last week, Becca, however you want to, whatever she's been calling herself this week, talked about embracing personal growth. And I had a lot of people really be like, wow, I thought I was just like losing weight. Look at this. Like, this is really opening up an avenue for me on all walks of life. And so embracing personal growth and just a bunch of different things. And if you didn't watch that, please go back and watch it. It's probably one of my most favorite health huddles we've done. So this week, just because some things we have going on, I thought we would cover the topic of making a shift in your health journey. And we'll cover a little bit more of that in a second, but I'm just going to go through a bunch of things and land that on about what that means, and inviting you with the tool that we have coming up here and what we're going to be doing for a season to maybe focus on making that shift for yourself. So I think a lot of us have seen this slide right here, what success looks like, and what people think it looks like and what it actually looks like. And it does look like the squiggly lines here on the screen on the right-hand side. It does not look perfect like everyone thinks it is. And about right where every one of those squiggly lines curves back around that's usually where a shift is occurring. And health isn't just your losing weight or your eating plan. It's probably in multiple facets in your life. So just knowing that each squiggly line here has to do with a shift that you're making in your health journey. And that's because shift happens. And shifts does need to take place in order for us to move forward in our health. Wherever you guys are at, Billy, COC, Paula, like wherever, you guys didn't just magically just keep going. There were shifts along the way. There was probably some gritting your teeth and, making that shift. And it probably seemed hard at the time, but then you were you made the shift and it was like, wow, I'm so glad I got to that point where I needed to shift, because you're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. And this is on all facets of life, not just your health. Nothing stays the same. You can't be idle. You can only be moving forward or moving backwards. And if you are idle, you might be able to slow down to idle for a second, but you're going to start going one direction or the other. So choosing to move forward is always the most important thing. And I'm going to throw, again, I told you I throw a lot of slides at you, is in this whole topic of figuring out your shift is you can't chase two rabbits. So, many of you guys are, just using this for an idea. Maybe you're focusing on getting healthier, but maybe you're also trying to hold on to the person you used to be before, and maybe like friends or old habits or things that you do need to shift, and you're trying to hold on to both. But if you hold on to both or you try to chase both, you'll lose both of them. You'll have either one, and probably the one that you'll fall back on is the one that is comfortable to you. And comfortable is not usually where you want to be. So just some different things I want to cover tonight. Old habits die hard. That's why we're going to focus on making shifts for a season and counting victories, and just the crab pot mentality. If you guys have never heard that, and I don't know if this really exactly pertains to this, but there's an old saying, basically the crab pot mentality is you don't have to worry about the ones that are trying to get out on the top, because the ones on the bottom are always going to pull them down. And that may be the people in your life, but that also may be your habits. You may be at the point where you need to make a shift because you're right about to bust through the board in something, but your old habits are bringing you down. And maybe your old habits are who you hang out with, or the actual crabs that are actually pulling you down. Maybe you actually do physically hang out with crabs and they're pulling you down into the crab pot. I don't know what your scenario is, but that might be something to look at. And one thing to really to look at here is there's two ways of looking at this. Either this topic was meant for you tonight and you are literally, you're like, oh, that's what it is. I need to make a shift. Or you can be ahead of the game, and it's always good if you can be ahead of the game, is what shift do I need to look at making ahead of time that's going to be on my horizon right now? What is my next thing that's coming up? Because you don't have to be, by the way, here's a disclaimer. I never use the word struggle. Struggle is a no-no word in our house because there's not things we struggle with. There's never anything that we struggle with. There may be things that might be hard. There might be things that are difficult, but really there's only things out there that we are not as ridiculously awesome at it as we want to be yet and that we are working on. So, so my thought is on that is if you have something that you're kind of hitting the wall against right now where you're ready for the shift is, hey, you can make it now. This might be the answer for it, but also you can also embrace it ahead of time saying, you know what, that's the next thing on my horizon. I'm going for that next. So you can either have it be hitting you in the face or you can embrace it ahead of time. But just some more different slides here, and this one is so true. Think about anything that's ever happened in your life that you were really excited about. Your comfort zone is over there on the right-hand side. And I guarantee you almost anything that you were really excited about in your life, good, bad, or whatever it is, good, great, whatever it was, anything that was necessarily good in your life was not simple for you, and it was not inside your comfort zone. If you are working on a habit tonight, it's to get really good at staying outside of your comfort zone. So that shift that we're talking about tonight, or that you will probably be having here soon, you're only in one of two categories. You're either in need of a shift, or your shift's going to be needing to come here pretty soon. That just remembering that outside your comfort zone is the best place to be. And overall is that insanity is really doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And as we are moving forward, you're not going to be able to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different results. That's just how it works. So you'll never be able to say, well, I've done this my whole life, so I'm going to continue doing it. It's going to evolve. And there's a really good book that I really love. It's called Good to Great. And they talk about a mentality. It's the Oz principle. And it's talking about companies that have been the top of their industry, over any given year. And they're talking about these companies, and over I think it's a 15-year period, only 2 of them remain in the top 20 because they're not committed to changing and evolving and shifting. They rely on what worked for them when they were at the best, and they don't shift, making it their reason to be accountable to move forward. So my thought on that is, going back to this is you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect to keep moving forward. Shift's going to have to happen in your life. And, there's 2 kinds of hard. There's the hard of not being where you want, falling backwards, wishing you were doing more. And there's the hard of, stepping up and embracing a shift. And, so basically I'll invite you guys to choose your hard. And on that, so this is just some general thoughts. I'm going to bring Dawn on in a second to kind of share something that we were talking about the other day on this. But wherever you are, I'm just going to give you some ideas this week. As some of you guys may be 20 pounds into your journey, 15 pounds into your journey, and you're just being like, hey, this is going great. I'm just losing weight. That means that things are going good and you're in motion, and the shift's probably coming, because I can tell you there's been multiple shifts in my health journey over the last 7 years in all aspects. So what's your shift on the next level? Is it your environment that you partake in? Are you going to own your environment in your household, and what is contributing to your success? Maybe your daily routine, your weekly routine, how you prepare for a week or take on a week, what you do with family and friends and your habits with them and who you hang out with. Have you taken on healthy motion? What are you doing for healthy motion? Billy talked about the walks that they do and how they embrace it a little differently now. Personal development and traditions. Like, how many people went to Easter and it was their old family traditions and it was pulling them back? You can always shift and make a new family tradition. So many people say, well, that's the way we've always done it, so it's got to continue that way. And that's nothing further than the truth. So I'm actually going to stop talking right now. And Dawn, you've had a beautiful example, maybe shifted once or twice in your journey. So just wanted you to share tonight a little about this, because I think you have a really good example of this that a few people could resonate with.
Thanks, Brad. And I love that we were talking about this not that long ago, and kind of reminiscing actually, because I've been on my health journey for 6 years. I guess I've been when we're born, we're on our health journey, but really been focused on it for 6 years. And we were talking about that biggest shift being not that long ago, maybe 4 years ago, when I shifted from being a full-time registered nurse into the world and the wonderful, just amazing community of health coaching. That was a huge shift. But what we were talking about really is that it's shifting focus. And this program, this community has given me the ability to put me in a position where I'm constantly shifting, and that flexibility to do that. Because as a nurse, I was focused on helping people get better, I was focused in a system that was kind of all about what was wrong. And now I get to focus in what do we want to create, right? That's a huge shift. So for me, it not only shifted my environment, but it shifted what I focus on. And, you know, the shift from nursing into health coaching is not necessarily what I want to talk about tonight. It's the shifting on what I focus on, because we get to focus on what we want to create. And now getting to focus on what I want to create in my health, even 6 years down the road, is incredible. I've lost my weight. I lost 45 pounds 6 years ago. And now I get to focus on what I want to do with my time, where I want to take my health next. Because Brad, you're so right. You're only idle for so long before you start heading the other direction. And so just recently, really setting in motion what I want to focus on, taking my health to that next level, my physical health. I hired a personal trainer, not because everybody needs a personal trainer, but because it was important to me. And because it was important to me, I scheduled it in. And when I schedule it in, it happens. I'm focusing on creating that healthy body, that stronger, leaner, more flexible body that I want, and the endurance and things like that. And I found someone that fits what my goals are. So that was something that was just important to me. And that shift of being able to, I have the time now to do what I want to do, but it's having the discipline to make what I want a priority. So for me, going into the week, like I love that the huddles are on Mondays, because going into the week, I'm looking ahead. What do I want to create this week? When are those 2 slots where I'm working out with my trainer? And then what am I doing on my own? Because I'm a big girl now. I'm a busy mom, and I'm not a single person anymore. And I'm busy helping lots of people create health. But what do I want to create in my world this week in my health? So putting those things into my routine so that they're scheduled in, Brad, that's been a huge shift for me. And just leaning into all the little shifts along the way and the big ones, because oh my goodness, that squiggly line, hello, every little back turn has been a shift, and it takes you up the road a little bit, up the mountain a little bit higher to that next vantage point. You see what you want to create, and then you shift to reach it.
I love it, Dawn. Such a great example. And the reason why, one, we're having our conversation, but also, life's changed. Like, you've become a mom since you started getting healthy. You've changed some things. Life has, tossed you a few curveballs, and that wasn't a reason to say, oh, I got to settle for this. What happened what needed to happen was a shift, prepping for the day, making a routine, how to embrace the healthy fueling so you don't move backwards, so you stay moving forward, making a plan on how to get your healthy activity, everything that supports your overall health goals, and even backing it up by saying, all right, well, you know what I really want? Additionally, some other backup, and you decided what was right for you was, scheduling a personal trainer a couple times a week. Not saying everyone needs to get a personal trainer. It's saying that instead of fighting the shift and where you were at, you embraced it. And I think it got a whole lot easier for you. And that's just one of many shifts. So hopefully that resonates with one of you guys tonight. If anything's hard, this is another habit of health. Start to be like, well, what's my shift that I need to make? Because it doesn't need to be hard for very long. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the topic tonight. It's a really powerful one when you experience your first shift. So what I would say for you guys this week, and the same way we always do it, is, this week, what part of the squiggly line of success are you on right now? What we were talking about, that one of those first few slides. And what's the next area of optimal health that you're ready for? What shift are you ready to take on this next season and really embrace that next level? Because you didn't do all this work for nothing. You did this work to elevate and gravitate. That's why we say that your optimal health journey is a journey for the rest of your life. So with that being said, we also, as we wrap up here today, we have something coming that's going to help you embrace shift. So in spring, it's a fun time of year. We are going to have a basically focus on 6 weeks where we can make habits and make shifts. Like for me, I'll just share you mine. It's always an ongoing journey. Working out consistently has been my different bugaboo. I do it regularly, but I'm never too far away from, a vacation. I get to travel quite a bit. And one thing I've never really got is a good routine back in after I fall. It usually is like, that's my shift that I need to make right now because I don't want to make an excuse for it. Plus, we now have a little one in our household. I'm not used to getting sick 2 or 3 times every winter. And now I am, because we got the little one in the house. And oh my gosh, it changes very quickly. So that's not a reason to make an excuse. That's a reason to elevate and figure out a way to make a shift so that I can keep moving forward. So that's what I want to work on with the season, as well as all my other habits. Oops, 1 second. I need to mute somebody real quick. 1 second. There we go. Got it. we're going to have a 6 weeks where we focus on health and different topics, maybe topics you didn't even know you wanted to shift on, but we're going to do it together. And so there's 2 ways to participate in this. You know, many of you guys have participated in like a few of the games that we did before, like we did Healthy to the Core as a Facebook group, and we did a Thriving Through the Holiday groups in the holidays. It's just another way that we're going to do this. And there's 2 ways to participate. One, if you're in a Facebook group and on these health huddles, we're just going to continue. It's going to start April 11th. So next week, we're going to set goals for this next new season. You can just continue on with your health journey as normal, but you can also say, I want to work on these things during the season. And we're going to go through all different topics and all around about health. So you can finish those 6 weeks saying, wow, I've really made some progress on these things. So we'll probably put a post up in the support group that you are on Facebook and say, hey, this is where I'm starting today. 6 weeks, I'm committing to making a shift. And these are the things I want to focus on. And additionally, we're also going to, many of you guys have maybe participated in our online game. It's a fun challenge where you can actually buy in. It's a $20 bet. And you actually buy in, you can earn points, which if you guys like games is another way to kind of elevate your competitive level. All the things you're doing to make a shift, these health huddles, everything that we do, you get points. And if you win the challenge, you get to split the pot. So if you hit your goals and earn the points, then you get to win money, and it helps you with the shift that you're going to make during this next season. So pick which way you want to participate, either in the Facebook group by itself and not joining that, or staying in the Facebook group and also joining the actual physical challenge. It's fun to gain points. It's fun to see progress. And if you're a betting person, I like betting on yourself. So connect with your health coach if you want the information on it. Just know we're going to start next Monday. And if you want to join the online one where you actually pay in to do it during this season, you can. The link will probably be up in your health coach or in your health client or your client support page probably tomorrow morning. So either way, we're going to make some shifts this next season. So I want to congratulate everyone on all the victories they had this last little bit. Dawn, thanks for sharing. Really good example. And just ask yourself, what's this next shift that I'm going to embrace this next season, and how awesome is it going to be on the other side of it? So with that being said, let's make it a great week. Thanks for tuning in this Monday. And if you like it, share it, talk about it, and build your community of support. Let's go have a great week, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
That was awesome.
Thanks, Brad. Thank you, Brad. Thanks, Brad. Great tips.
Loved hearing all of those celebrations at the beginning.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you guys all have a good evening. For all the health coaches, we have a call with our medical director in about 5 minutes. We'll see you on that call. Everyone else, you guys have a great